Okay, so why don't we start with? Oh, let's start with big picture summary. When I had a glance just a moment ago, let's look at the daily chart. So last week we ran our way up to 50% retracement of whatever. Yeah. And since then, maybe 2 weeks ago, we did that. Since then, we've been coming down. And first thing that jumps out at me is average true range projection takes us back to another fib number. So that wouldn't surprise me. And all the chartists will be drawing their uptrend lines, yada, yada, yada. So that gives me first kind of sense of what might be happening today. I've been trading a bit overnight. We put in a poor high a little while ago, overnight at 15 with some decent absorption, 500 lots. We traded our way down. We resolved the zero print that was there. This might project itself out. Projection would be poor high just below the big fat round number. Bottom of overnight. How does the bottom of overnight look? Not a price projector. Great. But other than that, so if we look a bit more at the TPO and have a sense of where are we in the range, etc., the poor high's nice to know about, and it's on its way potentially to resolve itself. Note the negative delta where we opened overnight. We head back down. We kind of get to the boundaries of the range that we broke out from. So maybe we build some value around there. I think it's going to be led in part by numbers this week. We have got CPI tomorrow. We're always going to meet a reaction off the CPI figure, sometimes massive gaps as the spread widens. I noticed as well we have got retail sales on Wednesday. So today I think is going to be kind of a bit of consolidation. I can imagine it drifting down and then we just wait until the figure. That's about it in terms of what I'm seeing in my planning for the day. Jeff, do you want to add anything further?
Yeah, I've been, I'm in the Lilu contest. So I've been up scalping in Q, and there's been a tiny bid under the market this morning. And, like you said, there's a lot of technical analysis indicators that are saying, we're at the new phase we're at the bottom of a new bull market, and all this nonsense and this or that crossed over and, gold in this and gold in that. And, it's pretty silly, but I got to tell you, there has been a bit under the market this morning, and the volume is low, and but every time we push down, the buyers kind of come out of nowhere and wham. So I think we're going to have some interesting trading this week. The PI number is always fun, whether it's C or P, and it will create some more volatility. I was late to get on the hedge fund call. Just while I'm talking, I'll jump in that real quickly. And back to event-driven market mode. Everybody kind of saw the reaction at 4,200, and I don't want to say people are short because, again, I came in late into the call, but the bottom line was, people expected that area to get sold. It did, and now we're trying to hold 4,100, and there's news coming, and so it's good not to have an opinion again and go with whatever's happening.
Yeah, totally. We can see rough shape where the edges are, but other than that, deal with it as it comes.
Yep. So what's on our calendars this week? What's going on? I'll jump into TRG while I'm just thinking about it. This morning I have the second edition of the Scalper's Mindset course, and this is just going to be about, at the start of the class, we just sat down at the computer, we just walked by, and is there a trade? And I'm just going to literally go through the process I run in my brain. I run two of them. One's, I call it the context procedure, or PROC. What's the context? Boom, 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 boom. And then can we execute against that? And what's going to make it really fun today is the contest is going on. So I'm trading a lot. I've already done a couple 100 round trips. So it'll be a fun class. So join us for that. What's up tomorrow?
Fishing trip around the IB, and then JVC will do exploiting your TRG members.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to talk about Pit and Library and get into some specific tips and tricks around getting the most out of those two probably the most significant sections of TRG outside of the live classes themselves.
And underused sections of TRG as well. Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah. If you didn't attend or see the recording from JVC's session last week, learning more about TRG, it was really, really good. He's doing an awesome job. So check that out. You will definitely learn something.
Yeah, all the most common things that I get at least several times a week from people of, I can't get this to work and I can't figure that out, whatever, are all in there. And we'll get more of those today, or I'd rather tomorrow, excuse me. So
Wednesday, I'm doing my open. And again, because last week I did a very nuts and bolts version of it. Here's the setup I'm looking for. Here's how that setup works. And this week we're going to do the same thing, but again, because of the contest, I'm free to kind of, let my hair down in NQ, and I plan to. And NQ can get really crazy around the open, and normal risk management says, be very cautious. But when you're in the only thing that matters is the top line P&L. If you don't hit your drawdown contest, it's easy to have fun and, not necessarily be monkey. Understand I'm not just monkey trading these, and people do just YOLO them over and over again. And that's doable. I'm not doing that. I'm just trading really aggressively the same kind of ideas that I normally trade. But if there's anything that I like about it, I'm taking it and then I'm scaling aggressively if I like it more. And so it's a fun style. It's a great way to play without, really taking a lot of risk. And the prizes are decent this time. So
we'll do that regular eval rules, Jeff, but it's just whoever gets the highest revenue wins.
As for what do you mean as far as eval? It's just the only rule is a $3,000 trailing drawdown, 12 lots or 120 micros, only NQ and MNQ.
Okay, so it's 100K account parameters.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
And so, the thing that's going to kill anybody that isn't scalping is the trailing drawdown, because these, with this amount of size, you have to take profits really fast.
Yep.
That's going to bite a lot of people. They're not going to realize. So there's, real quickly, tactically, and I talked about this a little bit at the Sunday session, but if you're interested, this is a really great contest to play in, because you can win more than one prize, and the top prize is $2,500 plus a live account or a PA account. So it's a cool contest. Understand, though, that if you're going to be in a contest like this, forget everything that that's good about risk management. You need to be risk averse with the trailing drawdown, but that's it. And the rest of the time you need to be overly aggressive. And it's like doing a drill. Whenever I've been in contests like this a lot, and I always treat them as a drill. I've won a few of these, by the way, not with Lilu, but back in the day when there used to be various CME contests and whatnot. You just have to understand it's like doing an eval, except here consistency is irrelevant. MAE is irrelevant as long as you stay above the trailing drawdown. Taking profits immediately is critical, and being careful where you scale, because you want to be scaling a lot, but not just willy-nilly. You want to do it at good spots. So it's fun. And, I recommend it. It's $9 per entry. So, what do you got to lose? Anyway, that's my pitch for that. It's really Amy's Lee, didn't mean that. Amy's comment about, see how much you can rack up. Yeah. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. Anyway. All right. So Thursday and Friday, we have another fishing trip, Lee. Is that correct?
Yeah. And then I'm going to get into how we scalp, reading volume at price and real sort of sniper scalping. This price is going to retrade. What shall I do about it? So we'll do an hour or so on that.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done a lot of structural approaches to scalping, that, and Lee and I have talked about this privately, that this is something that we needed to do, because most of the scalping conversations is around price action, like I do it. And there are many ways to scalp, and Lee scalps really well, but he does it differently than I do.
Many ways.
Alvin, I assume your question is aimed at Lee. Is that correct?
No, that must be aimed at Jeff. I'm not in.
I've
got too much going on with evaluation accounts. I'm just about to trip into 24 PAs this week. And next,
wow.
And next week, I expect another 16 to drop. So I'm a little bit focused.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Many is too many?
Eat that elephant, Lee.
We posted about the contest in the pit, I think. Didn't you, JVC?
Yes.
Could you drop the link in the chat? Yeah.
Coming right up.
And yes, I'm in it, Calvin, but it's important to understand that being a good consistent trader doesn't necessarily win these. My tactic is to just attack it 24 hours a day between now and Friday. But somebody could YOLO on Friday, and that could be their. You only have to trade one day, and they could beat me. And because you can win more than one prize, it's really interesting because there's 10 good prizes.
Well, you could take a $9 bet on CPI.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. You absolutely could do that. And I may do that as well. I bought 3 of them right now. I'm just copying to all 3, and I'm trying to run the balances up while I think about my other tactics. So yeah, you could literally just take a bet on CPI tomorrow. But the problem is that $3,000 drawdown. If you think about that, you got to be careful. And it really doesn't pay to do micros in a contest like this because the commissions, if you're going to scalp, the commissions are significant. It's double basically.
Have you switched to minis, Jeff?
Just for the contest, I'm doing just the mini. Yeah.
Oh, you are? Ah, okay.
Yeah, and I posted
5 micros last night.
No. 5 micros is normal risk for a max risk for a 25K funded account. No, I have to go much more aggressive than that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because for example, earlier this morning, the market was really quiet and we were leaning on a really good high volume node, and I was able to get up to a 12 lot mini NQs. And, again, I was just looking for a couple of ticks and I caught it on most of it. And then it burped in my direction and it went like 10 points and boom, it was a big winner. So, it's just, you would never do that in a eval because you'd blow it up, and you'd never do that in a funded account. Again, the risk management's too tight. But here, where you have nothing to lose, and you can, it's like if you're a poker player, it's like a poker tournament with unlimited rebuys. You can keep buying back in. So, and if that's the rules in a poker tournament, you see people, throwing a lot of money at getting in and getting past the first group of people dropping out. And that's the idea here too, except nobody has to drop out. So it could be an interesting contest. I wish Lulu was better promoting stuff because the email came out yesterday or Saturday, and we promoted it, but I haven't seen a lot of conversation about it anywhere.
The other contests I've seen, the winning P&Ls have been, in my opinion, rather shockingly low. It'll be really interesting to see what happens with this one.
Yeah, normally in a contest like this, somebody asked me that privately, what kind of P&L would you need to win? And, with YOLOing and with an economic number coming out tomorrow, if somebody can get lucky on the economic number and also make money all week, like I plan to do. So, if that happened to me, it could easily be 100K P&L, again, because you don't have to worry about managing risk. So it's important to be aggressive when the conditions warrant it. And nonetheless, it's a fun exercise. It's a really fun exercise just to see what you can do. And, even the 10th prize is $500. And, that's nothing to snivel at for a $9.
Actually, that's 4 through 10. So there's actually a lot of opportunities to get at least $500 out of it.
Yeah. And I wish they had not made it so that you could one person could win all the prizes, because one YOLO guy on Friday could end up with all the prizes. And I don't know. I think that was probably, I get why they did it, but maybe they should have capped it somehow, some way. I don't know.
Well, we'll know what they do in the next contest if they.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And this was clever timing also, because Apex has their Valentine's Day sale ending Tuesday, and they threw this out over the weekend. And I'm sure a bunch of people said, like I did, well, heck, why get 80% off? I can do the contest and win some real cash. And, it was also good for my personal schedule because I'm, doing my moving stuff. So anyway, it's a fun one. Check it out. The link's in the chat there. If you ever wanted to just have fun trading and maybe walk away with some money, this is a good opportunity to do it. And just from my point of view, again, this really lends itself well to giant swarming, but you just got to be mindful of that drawdown. That's your only, the only thing that can kill you. All right, let's see. What else do we have to talk about here on the Ides? What have we not talked about yet?
I think that's, from my side, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Is that it? Yeah, I think that is it. So anyway, the usual admonishments: don't try to make your week on Monday unless you're in the contest, in which case, why not? And remember what has happened literally with every number that ends in PI, as well as FOMC and NFP. We have had just ridiculous reactions. And then remember the 3-day pattern. The reaction to the reaction is day 2. And then the third day, we'll pretty much understand what the market actually thinks. And that's going to happen this week. So, trade accordingly.
Just on the legal Ethereum, just thinking their website, they're now doing a flash sale on the competition. It's $2.
You're kidding.
No way.
They've put a code on their website. It's $2.
Holy crap.
So you can save $7 more. What sense does that make?
They're going to make it up in volume, clearly.
Oh,
yeah, they must have cut a deal with Rhythmic for, no charge per account or something.
That's insane.
That doesn't make sense. You're talking about just on their homepage?
It's right on the homepage. I'm putting it in the pit right now. That's insane.
I'm going to look because I may buy a few more. I mean, it's working. There it is. Flash sale for the competition. $2 per entry. That's hysterical.
But the hilarious thing, of course, is maybe you get a PA out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And some money.
And you could win the money. Yeah. And, all you have to do if you win one of the PAs is pay the flat or the monthly fee. And that's not a bad deal, They also have a sale on that for the month. So,
yeah.
Heck, I'll buy a few more, Johnny. Anyway.
Exactly.
All right.
I'll buy that for $2.
Yeah, I'll buy that for $2. Exactly. Evaluations will be free. No, Jeffrey, they will pay you to come and do their evaluations.
There you go.
Yeah. All righty, kids. Have fun. I think that's it, right?
That's all.
I think so.
Yes.
All right. I'll see you guys at my scalping session at 8:30 Eastern. Have fun until then.
See ya.
Bye for now.